Hi guys! New York Post published emails between Hunter Biden and Burisma officials, showing clear connections to Joe Biden. Mainstream media was planning to ignore this story as they did with all previous ones, but Twitter decided that it's a moment for truth and they completely banned the link of that story on their platform. Yep, you can't publish this article. I tried this yesterday. Twitter gives you some strange error that it violates something. Also, you can't even send this article as a direct message through Twitter. Later, they decided to suspend Twitter account of Trump's press secretary, Kayleigh McEnany, for publishing some screenshots from that article. In contrast, Facebook allowed this article to be posted, but they clearly demoted so that less people could see it. And that's actually amazing, because today all the media outlets talks about Twitter and Facebook censorship, as well as they mentioning Hunter Biden new investigation. You can't really think about a better strategy to promote this article. However, the bad thing is that digital censorship is a reality now. New York Post is a mainstream media outlet with a huge reader base. It's not like Breitbart or Federalist or some kind of crazy unknown Russian source. You might wonder what is the official reason of blocking this. Basically, Twitter disallows links or images on hacked materials. Also, you can't really publish articles with personal phone numbers and email addresses. Do you remember that story from New York Times about Trump's tax return? That's apparently fine by Twitter rules. Although all those tax returns were hacked, there were no any actual display of them in the article. They just wrote their interpretation of what they apparently have seen there. But let's be clear, Twitter doesn't apply that policy consistently. There are lots of things on Twitter which was acquired by hacking. This is a 100% political decision and Twitter should be held accountable for that. Luckily we have Google, the company I used to work for. They don't censor news yet. Let's find this article and read them together. There are a couple of very interesting things there. I've made a video about Burisma and Hunter Biden just over a year ago, and it was actually my first video on this channel. Let me give you a quick recap of what was going on there. Mykola Zlochevsky is an owner of one of the largest private natural gas company in Ukraine called Burisma. He was a great friend and a donor of a former extremely corrupted Ukrainian president Viktor Yanukovych. The Burisma corruption scheme was pretty easy. President Yanukovych made Zlochevsky a Minister of Ecology and Natural Resources. As the result, all the best drilling places were assigned by him to his own company Burisma, and he quickly became a billionaire. Don't be shocked, he is a typical Eastern European businessman. Unfortunately for our businessman, in February 2014, President Yanukovych was overthrown by a revolution in Ukraine and the new government declared a strong anti-corruption agenda. Since Burisma was created on grossly corrupted schemas, Zlochevsky decided to protect himself and invite a bunch of influential people to the board of his company and paying them $50,000 per month for doing nothing. Assuming that if the new Ukrainian government started to attack Burisma, this guy will be able to protect the company with their political influence. Hunter Biden was one of these guys. Later, the General Prosecutor of Ukraine, shocking, started an investigation against Burisma. In the same time, Joe Biden, who was constantly flying to Ukraine as a part of US government for different negotiations, demanded that General Prosecutor should resign if Ukraine wants to get a $1 billion loan from United States. Biden was so stupid, so he even publicly told that story some time ago.
Went over for, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, I'm not going to, or we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired.
And there is an obvious conflict of interest between Joe Biden as an US official and his son Hunter Biden being sitting on the board of Burisma company. Joe Biden was claiming for the last year that he was completely unaware of his son's business in Ukraine, which is theoretically possible. But now we have a New York Post article, actually a couple of articles. The story is that Hunter Biden water damaged his laptop and then dropped it to repair shop back in April 2019 and forgot to pick it up. The shop owner tried to contact him without any success, and then he realized that this laptop might belonged to Biden's family. He decided to notify the FBI, and then FBI decided to seize the laptop back in December 2019. Before giving that laptop back, he actually copied the hard drive and gave it to Rudy Giuliani, a personal attorney of Donald Trump. And now Rudy Giuliani gave a copy of that hard drive to New York Post. They managed to find some personal photos of Hunter Biden smoking various things, a homemade porn movie with Hunter Biden and some unknown woman, and the most important, various emails. On April 13, 2014, 1.5 months after the Ukrainian Revolution, Hunter sends an email to his business partner Archer. It's a long one, mostly about Ukraine and Burisma, but there are mystical words like our guy, my guy, and our team. Poroshenko appears to be the likely next president. Determining our team relationship with him is important. Our team seems to be including Joe Biden. It's not so easy to establish a relationship with a foreign president unless you're a vice president of the United States, right? Our guy needs to set up himself as an anti-Viktor Pinchuk, coal and steel oligarch, pro-Russian Yanukovych supporter. Our guy is Burisma owner Zlochevsky. And this makes sense. Both Pinchuk and President Poroshenko are oligarchs, and they don't like each other. So if you want to be liked by Poroshenko, you need to hate Pinchuk. Pretty easy. The best way to weather the storm, by the way, now, an election is to throw all in with a Chocolate King. This is my favorite one, Chocolate King. Basically, President Poroshenko made one of the largest sweets producing corporation in the former USSR. Poroshenko is a safe ally that could help protect him from the vultures of the moment. So him is Zlochevsky again. And as I told you, Hunter's role was to protect Burisma against newly established government vultures. Additionally, you, me, and Alex should reconnect with the Boxer and help gain his support of our guy. So Boxer is Vitaly Klitschko, who was one of the leader of Ukrainian revolution back then, and as the result he became and still is the mayor of Kiev, the capital of Ukraine. He's an extremely corrupt guy as well. And again, our guy is Zlochevsky. The announcement of my guy's upcoming travels should be characterized as part of our advice and thinking, but what he will say and do is out of our hands. In other words, it could be a really good thing, or it could end up creating too great an expectation. We need to temper expectations regarding that visit. Here, my guy is clearly Joe Biden, because he traveled to Ukraine dozens of times. The contract should begin now, not after the upcoming visit of my guy. And that should include a retainer in range of 25k per month, blah blah blah, and completely separate from our respective deals of board participation. My guy is Biden again, and they're getting greedy, demanding 25k for BSF, which is, according to the article, some kind of high-profile law firm, Boyce Schiller Flexner. Buy a cell phone from 7-Eleven or CVS tomorrow, and I will do the same. They know how to be undetected. The next email is coming from Požarsky, reportedly a Burisma's number 3 executive. Just a couple of days later, on April 17, 2014. Požarsky basically thanks Hunter for introducing him to his father, probably Joe Biden. We don't know if it's fake or not, but if it's fake, FBI can intervene and tell us what's the case, because they actually have the original hard drive. Later on May 12, Požarsky wrote to Hunter and Archer another mail with urgent title. As previously pointed out on a number of occasions, the representatives of new authorities in power tend to quite aggressively approach NZ. NZ is Nikolai Zlochevsky, unofficially with the aim to obtain cash from him. Initially, it was done by representatives of Svoboda Party and the Ministry of Internal Affairs. These so-called unofficial communication would entail blackmailing. In case we don't cooperate, provide money in cash, the gas production business of Zlochevsky would be stopped, destroyed, etc. In Ukraine, if someone declares fight against corruption, it means they just want to be a part of it and take some large piece. And Svoboda is another party who came into power after the Ukrainian Revolution. It's important to note that Svoboda Party is represented in the government by the General Prosecutor and the Minister of Ecology and Natural Resources of Ukraine. This is a different General Prosecutor, and he was replaced in June when President Poroshenko was elected. Now the most important. We urgently need your advice on how you could use your influence to convey a message, signal, etc. to stop what we were considering to be politically motivated actions, and then you have a bunch of information about Burisma. Hunter Biden and Devon Archer don't really have any influence in political sense to convey a message. So it's clearly addressed to Joe Biden. That's pretty much it. Probably they have more emails which they haven't shared with us, and I hope they will share some of them soon. Could this story change the upcoming presidential results? I'm not sure, because most of the people knew that story for about a year at this point, and they still made their decision to vote for Biden against Trump. Anyway, thanks for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you next time, bye!